Gardens are easy to design and build if your land is flat. But what do you do when you want a garden on a hillside with a heavy slope? How do you design and build a garden then? Join me today as I discuss how to garden on a slope. Hi, I'm Gardener Scott, and this is an area where I want to build a new garden with lots of beds, in-ground beds, raised beds. There's already some fruit trees here. There's a lot more that's going to go into this space. But you can see as I walk down the hill, there's a lot to deal with, a lot to think about, and a lot to plan for when gardening on a slope. I'm going to approach the planning of gardening on a slope very systematically. First, I've got to figure out what kind of slope I'm dealing with, because I want to have raised beds that are flat. I also want some in-ground beds that are flat. I'm going to have to move a lot of soil, and I'm going to have to develop some retaining walls to create a tiered garden system. It begins by figuring out the slope. So I've put a stake in the ground, and I have the twine now at the soil level. I'm going to run it down to the low spot and see what I find. I'm using a line level on this stretched line to find out just exactly what is level. And so I'm going to move the line up and down this fence until I find a level spot. That looks like it. And then I'm going to mark it with a nail. With the line level, now I can measure the slope. I now know that this nail corresponds to the soil at the base of the fence, the high point in this slope. Now I'll measure how far from the soil at the base of this fence, and it's almost exactly 5 feet. We call this the rise. So the rise of the slope from that fence to this fence is 5 feet. I also need to measure the length of the slope. This is called the run. Now I'm going to measure along the line. I don't want to actually measure how much space the slope covers. I want to know side to side the run of this slope. And so as I measured to the fence line, I see that I have almost exactly 34 feet. So over the course of 34 feet, the soil drops 5 feet. Now that I know the measurements, I can begin actually planning the layout for this garden on a slope. And there are many options. I could have a level, drop down a foot, 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 and then the level at the bottom. I think that's too much. I'm leaning towards doing 3 levels, where I have an upper section that then drops down 2.5 feet with raised beds and retaining wall holding that slope. Then another section in the middle here that then also drops down 2.5 feet to the level area at the base of the fence. I want to avoid what might be an easy approach, where I just divide this in half, come out, drop a 5-foot tall retaining wall, and then have a level area at the bottom. That would require moving a lot of soil and building a big wall, and I don't think that's necessary. 3 levels is what I'm going with. Now you may be wondering why I'm talking about leveling this much soil and creating retaining walls to maintain all those different levels. Well, that's because this is a pretty dramatic slope. This area used to be covered with turf grass. This whole section was green and lush and grassy, and it had a sprinkler system. Well, here in Colorado on our hot, dry days, it takes a lot of water to have a lawn. And it takes even more water on a slope like this because of the intense sun of summer. Well, a past owner of the house did away with the grass and just let everything die back here. What you see right here is actually water line from when this area was lawn. This line would have been buried about a foot deep in the soil, but over the years, erosion, all the soil running down this hill has uncovered the soil that should be on top of this water line. All of the soil rushing down the hill had to go somewhere, so I dug out the base of this fence, and sure enough, there's about a foot of soil that's covering all of these fence pickets. Erosion is the biggest factor you have to deal with when gardening on a slope. Grass, plants, garden beds will help hold it in place, but even with those beds, if you still have that angle of runoff, you're going to have erosion. So that's why I'm going to have level areas with retaining walls to put my garden beds in. So it may seem like the basics of figuring out a slope and the garden layout are complete, but when you garden on a hill, the hill isn't always straight. The first section I measured had a relatively flat base. But if you look at this fence line behind me, you can see it goes from high to low. There are two slopes in this yard, east-west and north-south. I used the same method that I used to determine the slope in this direction to determine the slope in this direction. It's 76 feet from that fence to that fence. And in that distance, the height of this slope is about 2 feet. Now, I'm going to have to remove about a foot of soil from that lowest section and begin filling up these upper spots. So it's going to end up being a little less than 3 feet over the course of 76 feet. Much more manageable. For the most part, this back section is flat. Most of the slope is in that section. So my current idea is to have a retaining wall of about 1.5 feet between the sections, and then just allow the slope to make up for the rest. There will be pathways running in this direction, so those pathways won't be level. They can be sloped going into the other areas. I need to put this all down on paper and identify where those walls are going to go and where my beds are going to go, and that's going to be in the next video. So go ahead and follow along in this series as I turn this bare backyard that has so much potential into a beautiful garden space. I'm Gardener Scott. Enjoy gardening.